Hi, we're at Ashley Furniture Home Store in Maryville, Indiana, and I'm Scott Morris. The reason for this video is to impart to you critical insights on how to present mattresses, adjustable bases, and Tempur-Pedic in the appropriate way. Customers will come to you and depend totally on your help in terms of selecting the mattress. It's the one thing in a furniture store that's not bought on eye appeal. When you walk into the mattress gallery, everything pretty much looks the same. They're all light-colored rectangles, for the most part. You're the one that should understand the difference between each mattress and be able to lead the customer in terms of their desires and their wants. We have an assistant here, Natasha, and Natasha has just tried several mattresses in the showroom, and based on what she said, she wants something that's medium firm. So I suggested that we come over to the Tempur-Pedic mattress. Could you try laying on this, Natasha?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a side sleeper?
Yes.
Okay. So what we want you to do is test it like you use it. It's important that you actually spend a little bit of time in the position that you're going to be actually using, and then I've got an important question to ask you. Okay. So we tried some others. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, the highest we got was an 8. Where would you be with this mattress?
I would give it a 10. It's like a cloud.
A 10? Fantastic. This mattress is made by Tempur-Pedic. It's called the Flex Elite. And the Flex is a mattress they came out with rather recently. It has inner springs on the bottom, and then it's got foam on the top, so it's both. They call it a hybrid. This one bounces back a little more quickly than the other ones that you tried. And so some people that like a regular feel in their mattress is a regular inner spring feel, this is closer to that, and that may be one reason why you like it. But it's also just a very comfortable mattress to be sleeping on. So what I'd like to show you is something that you need to know about. We're going to talk about an adjustable base. And so I'd like you to lay on your back, if you would, just for a second. Okay? So you say the mattress is a 10. I'm going to ask you to tell me what you think the number should be in another couple of minutes after we do the demonstration. Okay? So first of all, we're going to raise your head just a little bit, just so you get used to it. Okay? Raise your head just a little bit. Okay? Now we're actually going to raise your feet as well. It goes up slowly. You notice you don't hear any motors.
Right.
Nice and quiet. Okay? So now I'm going to raise your head up just a little bit more. Okay, and we're going to put you in a position that's called zero gravity position. When your ankles are higher than your heart, basically, then you're in what they call zero gravity. This position allows you to breathe easier because you're actually sitting up a little bit, and also aids in circulation because your feet are up. It aids in the ability of the heart to be able to restore your circulation, and also if you have any swelling, for instance, this helps eliminate swelling too. How does that feel?
Feels great, like a cloud.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do is put you in the zone, Natasha. Okay, the zone, you're going to find out what I mean by the zone. The zone is a feeling that you're going to have that's the most relaxed feeling you've ever had in your life. And you don't have to pay $1,000 to fly to Florida to go on vacation. And you don't have to spend money for a masseuse. You can access this every night of your life. It's like having a masseuse in your bedroom. But I'm going to put you in the zone, the most comfortable place you've been ever, I would say. So I just turned on the vibrator, the massage. Doesn't that feel nice?
Feels good.
Okay. It actually has 3 different settings. There's a pulse, a wave, and there's a constant. So what we're going to do is put it on constant, and then I'm going to turn it up. And also, this does the head and the feet. Okay? So now, what I'd like you to do is just relax totally, and close your eyes if you can, and take 2 deep breaths. Just take 2 slow, deep breaths. Okay? You're in the zone. Yes. When's the last time you were this relaxed? Can you remember even?
In the Bahamas.
On the Bahamas, yeah?
On the beach.
Yeah? Well, it's like bringing the beach to your bedroom. How's that? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually lay you flat, and I'm going to ask you to take that deep breath again. Okay? When we lay you flat, it becomes more difficult to breathe, and I can explain to you why in just a second. But now,
Stretching.
you're stretching, yes. Can you take 2 more deep breaths? Takes a lot more effort to do that, doesn't it? Yeah. And I'll tell you why that happens. I'll put you back in the position that you're in, but I'll tell you why that happens. When you lay flat, your stomach contents spread out, and it puts pressure on your diaphragm, constricting your lung capacity. When you're sitting up, gravity drops your diaphragm down, and then it's easier to breathe, to get deep breaths. I have asthma. I've been in the hospital twice with it, and they put you in this position. It's called the semi-Fowler position. They actually have a medical term for it, so that you can breathe better. So anybody with a breathing difficulty can really benefit from the use of this, being elevated even just a little bit in bed. Do you have any asthma problems or allergies or sinus? Acid reflux? This is great for that as well, because sitting up keeps the fluid from backing up in your esophagus. Okay. Also, people who have sleep apnea, are you one of those perhaps?
Yes.
Okay, sleep apnea. And if you snore, do you snore?
I also snore.
Yeah.
The whole package.
Yeah. Well, then you ought to be going home with this bed. There's no question about it. So, yes, for sleep apnea and for snoring, this is another great thing because it opens up your air passages. So, we're going to concentrate now more on the legs. Do you have any back problems?
Yes.
Okay. Lower back pain?
Yes, I was in a car accident.
You were in a car accident. Okay. So when we lifted your legs up, did you notice the relief? You said you were stretched, you know? You noticed relief? This takes pressure off your lower back, particularly your sciatica.
Feels good.
Yes, that's fantastic. I have a lot of customers that come back and see me, over a period of years, and the ones that I sell the base to, I always remember, and I always ask them, how's the base treating you? And never once do they ever regret it. In other words, it's the greatest thing I ever bought. One guy said, I can't get relief until I get home at night in this position. It's the only time I get relief during my day on my back pain. So this is also good for people that have circulation problems, people that have diabetes or any kind of circulation problems. A lot of doctors will recommend this. Okay. Incidentally, the mattress you're on is Tempur-Pedic, and they have a medical division. So what I'm going to do is turn up I'm going to let you relax a little bit. I'll put the vibration back on. Okay. So we'll put on the constant. Okay. The thing that I would tell you about this is it's all about how you feel. You spend 1/3 of your life in bed. And so you said it was a 10, the mattress was a 10. How does it feel now? Put some kind of number on that. Is it a 12 or 13?
Yeah, it's past tense.
Yeah, past tense. It really changes it. Mankind's been sleeping flat for thousands of years, but now the big improvement in bedding technology is not only better sleeping surfaces, but it's the ability to have the head and foot up along with vibration. It's fantastic. So some people say, I only want to spend a little bit for a mattress, and there's people on the other end of the spectrum that say, you know what, it's the most important thing I put in my home. It affects my health. I've got pain or I've got health issues. This will reflect. It's the best thing I can do for myself. So spending a little bit extra to be able to get the relief that you need is fantastic. So we talked about your needs in terms of your own personal health needs. However, there's something else to consider, and that's the lifestyle issues that this allows you to have. This allows you to take the living room and put it into the bedroom. You notice how your head is elevated? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to lower your feet just a little bit here, and then we're going to elevate the head some more. So when we do this, you'll see something happen here. Okay, when you start to sit up, you are able to do everything that you would be doing almost in a chair in a living room. Do you work on your laptop in bed sometimes? Okay, text on the phone, I imagine?
Watch my TV.
Yep, read? TV in the bedroom?
Yep.
Fantastic. This just took away all those extra pillows that you have to prop up all the time.
Yeah.
So it changes your lifestyle. It takes the living room and puts it into the bedroom. Now, Tempur-Pedic, have you ever heard of Tempur-Pedic?
I've just seen the commercials.
The bowling ball and the pins, okay? That talks about how the motion is isolated, like you won't disturb your partner if you're tossing and turning or getting out of bed. And this is the Tempur-Pedic brand name. But there's a couple things I want to tell you about Tempur-Pedic. Number one, it's about pressure relief. It's about circulation and pressure relief. They're the best mattress that I know of, and J.D. Powers also happens to agree. You know, J.D. Powers and Associates evaluates a lot of things, cars in 80 different countries. They're well known for that. 3 years ago, they started doing mattresses. Their last report was in November, and they said that Tempur-Pedic is the highest rated in terms of customer satisfaction and comfort, and also for value. Customers felt like it was a good value, because there's a lot of people that sell beds out there, but nothing's a Tempur-Pedic. So what I'm going to do is, I want to demonstrate how great this is for circulation. When you put your hand on there, you'll see that it causes it to go down, and it's responding to three things. Your temperature, that's why they call it Tempur-Pedic, because it responds to your temperature, and it conforms perfectly to your body then. also the shape of the hand and the weight. So it gives you a perfect mattress for you. If you spend $1 million to make a mattress, you'd have it come out like this because it conforms to your body perfectly. And to show you how well it does that, I'm going to go around here and ask you to sit up just for a second, okay, and I'm going to put something underneath you, and I don't want you to look at it just yet, but I'm going to ask you to lay back down on it kind of slowly, okay. Is there something behind you? You don't know? You don't?
I don't feel anything.
You can't feel it? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay you flat for a second, and we'll see, okay. Incidentally, when presenting to customers, don't talk to them while they're standing up by the bed. The feel is the deal. Have them lay down and get them with their head up and their feet up and the vibration on as soon as you can. Select the mattress, but when you get the mattress, then go immediately to the presentation on the head and the foot and the vibration. The feel is the deal. The feel is what sells it. Your words don't. You can kind of guide their thinking a little bit, but having them in the position that Natasha was in is everything to your success in terms of getting them to recognize what it can do for them. Okay, so now what we're going to do now is prop you up just in the front. Okay, we're going to take a second here. Okay, I wanted you to know how it felt when you were laying flat. Is there anything underneath you? Do you still know?
Nope.
Okay, nope. Okay, reach back there and see if there's anything underneath you. Okay, see that?
Can't even tell.
Can't even tell. This is a measuring tape. This is steel. It's very, very hard to lay on. So if you're on a floor, a flat surface with that, you'd be in pain.
Right.
But you're on a flat surface and an elevated surface and you felt no pain. That's because Tempur-Pedic has a tendency to spread pressure like nothing else. It spreads the pressure down and also to the sides, and so it removes the pressure points. So the idea is you want to get the best night's rest, and if you toss and turn, that defeats your best night's rest. You want to minimize your tossing and turning. With this, pressure points don't build up because your circulation is intact, because Tempur-Pedic redistributes your weight in such a way it gives you the most pressure relief. That's what Tempur-Pedic's all about. It has a medical division. The Tempur-Pedic medical division sells mattresses too. A lot of nursing homes and a lot of hospitals have Tempur-Pedic in there. Two nurses recently came into the store about a month ago independently, and they bought Tempur-Pedics, and they came in because their hospital all just went to Tempur-Pedic beds. And Tempur-Pedic's story is very interesting. You can research it really quickly by going to companyhistories.com and just pull up Tempur-Pedic. But the original technology for this came from NASA. And NASA scientists perfected it, and they used it for astronauts because when they were lifting off in orbit, they were experiencing G-forces would cut off the circulation in their legs. It was dangerous. So they had to minimize that, and also they wanted something, if there's a high impact landing, to be able to support them. Tempur-Pedic was the material. They didn't call it then. Viscoelastic foam is what they called it. But then they sold it to the highest bidder, and a company from Sweden bought it and turned it into the Tempur-Pedic brand name. Back in the day, no one knew who they were. So in order to get started in nursing homes, because it's great for circulation, they made nursing homes offers and they weren't being taken up on it. They said, look, 60% of your lawsuits in a nursing home are from bed sores. We will reduce your bed sore count down to under 1% of what it is right now. They still couldn't get any buyers or takers. So they put an insurance policy out of $250,000 on each person that was going to be resting on that in the nursing home for 1 full year. That's how they got in the door. They dropped the bed sore count to under 1%. They even lobbied Washington that there should be special bonuses or consideration given to nursing homes where the bed sore count is under 2%. So I don't know if they were successful at that or not, but at any rate, that's one way that Tempur-Pedic became well known and got started. So it's the best thing for circulation. There's a study done. Have you ever had an MRI taken? You know, where it's like a big machine, and it takes like an X-ray kind of, and you can't move. You got to be still. So they found out that they shot the test less often. They had to shoot it twice less often if people are on Tempur material instead of the normal material. So that's how good it is. It's also used, this material is used in wheelchairs, it's used in football helmets on the inside, leg braces, so it's got a whole host of applications. So Tempur-Pedic is actually the mattress you want to be on for aches and pains. But also, anybody can benefit from it. I sold it to two gentlemen that were in their middle 20s and talked to both of them sometime after they had it. And I said, what can you tell me about it? And they said, it was funny, they said exactly the same thing. Quote, I often wake up in the same position I fell asleep in. So sleep is so important to your health. There's another article. I had a guy come in here and buy a mattress because he read a newspaper article. And I'll share that with you real quickly. USA Today in December of 2017 had an article on sleep deprivation. You can Google it, USA Today 2017, December, sleep deprivation. And he came in and bought a mattress because of it, because it said they found out why people can only go about 10 days without getting sleep or they die. Scientists can never figure that out. So what happens is the brain accumulates toxins through chemical reactions all day long. And they found out, two Danish scientists found out what happens. When the brain's asleep, or when you're asleep, the brain shrinks, it loses blood, and then cerebral spinal fluid can come in there into the brain and cleanse it. And it's like a sponge that gets wrung out 5 times. It takes maybe over an hour for each one. 5 times it does that. It's washing the brain. So if you don't sleep enough deep sleep, you won't go the 5 cycles. That's why you wake up tense, irritable, groggy. You don't feel right. You have pains. Okay? It's because you didn't get your proper rest because your brain didn't go through all the cycles. That's why a person dies in 10 days, because the brain becomes so overloaded with toxins, it shuts down. It can't even run the body. There's no way to have it, there's no way for the body to get instructions about the heartbeat and everything else, okay? So that's why people die if they don't get enough sleep. You can go 3 days or so without water, you can go maybe 3 weeks without food, you can only go about 10 days without sleep. That's how critical sleep is as a component to your health. And some people labor along week after week with their old bed. You know why? Because it got bad gradually. It didn't happen in one night. So people get used to it and your pain set in gradually and they get worse gradually. At some point in time you wake up and say, a lot of people that come in here say, I got to do something. My bed, I just got to get rid of it. So it's the one thing people put off. It's also the thing that they sleep on, and most people do everything for everybody else. They've got college education for their kids, or they got to do something, kids at school or in the house, or clothes or something for somebody else, taking care of parents or whatever, so they deprive themselves. But the most important thing you can do for yourself is have a proper mattress. It's the most important real estate you own. You spend 1/3 of your life on it. So more people are becoming aware of how instrumental it is in sleep, and when you buy a Tempur-Pedic, a large proportion of the people, like 40 or 50% I think it is, buy the adjustable base with it now. In Europe, they get it better than us. They're more tuned into their health and well-being. Consumers in America buy expensive cars. We're all trained up to it. How many times have you gone past somebody down the streets, $50,000 car, $60,000, $80,000, and I wonder what kind of mattress they're sleeping on. I had a guy pull up in here in a $65,000 truck one time, and his wife was pregnant. He says, I want to get me a cheap mattress. I said, really? I says, you just got out of a brand new truck. He said, now, don't go there. And I says, well, you spend how long in your truck? An hour a day? Okay, and your pregnant wife is going to be spending how long, every night in the bed and for the rest of her life. So they ended up getting the better mattress. So that's one way to put it in perspective. To spend $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 on a night's sleep that's going to keep you well rested for 10 years or more, isn't it worth it? So people think nothing of going out and getting an expensive car, and it depreciates when they pull it out of the showroom. It will have depreciated at least that much by the time they pull it out of the showroom. So in Europe, they get it more than we do. They'll put more as a percentage of their income into their mattress in their bedroom than Americans will, but that's starting to change now. There's a lot of people that are getting it. So incidentally, this is heavily endorsed. The one that you're on right now is the one that Serena Williams sleeps on, the tennis pro, and she says, I wouldn't be the performer today that I am without my mattress. She says, I get rejuvenation and rest. And so for a while, she was like a spokesperson on the Tempur-Pedic site. So that's the Tempur-Pedic story. And my question to you now is, what do you think?
I love it.
Yeah? Fantastic. Well, the nice thing about it, at Ashley Furniture, you don't need money to buy a mattress, because we can take it out for no money down financing at 72 months interest free.
Wow.
Yeah?
No down payment?
No down payment.
Awesome.
Is it time to put you out of your misery?
Yep.
Well, let's get started. Thank you. My philosophy is that people come to you and they have needs, sometimes needs they don't even know about. They have genuine problems, aches and pains. Sometimes they can't get relief. If you're the person that leads them to the solution, something they maybe even hadn't considered when they came into the store, maybe they came in for a dining room table, but you ask them, how do you like your mattress at home? And so you got the deer in the headlights look like, well, why do you ask? Well, then bring them gently into the bedding shop and say, you know, the latest technology is really amazing. You owe it to yourself just to check it out. Get them started, get them laying on a bed, and remember, the feel is the deal. You can be the most important person that they've talked to in the last 10 years. You have the license to go ahead and take them into the bedding shop because you're advocating in their behalf. Put them out of their misery. Give them the relief they need. The most important thing you do as a salesperson is get them hooked up with the proper bed. This is Scott Morris. Thank you. I've enjoyed this and hope you enjoyed listening to it as much.